Let's just say it, they can't even beat Glasgow.
I know.
Scotland do still have the ability to beat any team in the world on their day.
The best showing of Grant Gilchrist against Italy was his arse.
Hello and welcome back to Double Hit. This week we're going to be going over the Calcutta Cup victory.
Well, there's only one game we can't even talk about. Scotland! Scotland!
Where did that come from?
What the fuck?
What a performance.
I mean, we were saying last week how we thought it was going to be...
We actually need to just start by...
There's a few apologies.
Yeah, I'll eat your words and you eat mine.
There's a few apologies that we need to get out there. So we predicted England by 10.
Aye.
But I had been saying this the full time that I was like 55% England were going to win.
Uh-huh.
And now, we said that. Wouldn't be surprised if Scotland won. And there's nothing more to say. Honestly, the best Scotland performance I've ever watched.
We just went off the evidence, really, of what Scotland's current form's been like. You go off the autumn campaigns, the performance in Italy, and what this performance tells me is two things. One, Scotland do still have the ability to beat any team in the world on their day. And two, Italy actually might be better than what we're giving them credit for.
Well, they looked good against Ireland, but I think we've just been waiting for this performance from Scotland. We've been getting like a half of it against the All Blacks or 60 minutes of it against Argentina, and then these drop-offs we had were just cataclysmic, whereas this game really, we put in like an 80 minute, maybe not even 80 minute performance, we put in a good 70 minute performance because we weren't perfect, but sitting there watching that, and we'll get into it, that was a really, really special Scottish performance. Really special.
It's a performance that we've been waiting for. It's a performance
that we knew they were capable of.
It's a performance that we knew that Matchday 23 could perform, and it basically was Glasgow beat England.
I heard John Barclay say that.
It's pretty funny.
England can't even beat Glasgow.
Yes!
But what I would say is fair play to Gregor. And again, we've made videos about Gregor going, but we'll eat our words when we need to. But that still stands unless we back it up. And that's the biggest thing, and we'll talk about that again, because we need to back up this performance. But what I will say is Gregor, he's had a lot of heat. Like a fuck ton of heat on him this week. He had so much pressure on him. And he could have easily been like, no, I'm going to go back to Darcy and Doohan and Blair, keep Grant Gilchrist, keep Ewan Ashman. But he didn't do any of those. He stuck with what he thought was right. And you know what? It paid off, because the back three, Tom Jordan was brilliant. Darcy, when he made an impact coming on off the bench. Gregor Brown, the line out just looked quality. So you got to give it to Gregor for handling that pressure and that heat.
England really struggled to defend out wide, and Gregor took the punt with that back three, and it told you could immediately from the start of the game you're like, this is going to work. Yeah. The intensity the guys were bringing, I couldn't believe it. We went 17-0 up.
Well, we couldn't believe what we were watching.
It was unbelievable. And let's just say the atmosphere in Murrayfield, that's the best atmosphere I've ever experienced in a rugby match. It was electric. It was.
And we need to also give a shout out to Scottish rugby, because the match day experience at Murrayfield, we've been going to the rugby since we were wee boys.
15 years.
And genuinely now, the match day experience that they're putting on at Murrayfield is exceptional.
It's really hard to big up the team more than what you can do. There's maybe a couple of things that we could highlight later on, but everyone from 1 to 15 started that match with the same intensity. Everyone started it with the same motivation to go out there and put a number on England. And this is a frustrating thing, and you're seeing it more this year than I have seen it any other year. The fact that Scotland just do these performances against England. It's our World Cup final. But you know what? See, when you're there, It's the only game that matters on the day, isn't
It
it?
is.
And if we're performing like that, who cares?
And it is, in England that's the best England team we've played in a while.
That's a really good point. That was in England. That was it 12 games in a row.
12 games in a row, and they've taken some big scat. But I saw a crazy stat. They've not won a away game. They've not beat like France, Ireland, or us now in an away game. Like
In the Six Nations.
In the Six Nations.
Because
beat Argentina away, but then most of their home games that they had, the streak that they had was from mostly home games, other than the Argentina results. But and was it Uruguay they played in the summer? Can't remember. But it was not a padded record, but it was definitely in their favour.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, it's a really strong team that came to town.
Yeah.
Probably the best England team we've seen since 2017 that we've faced, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so, when they absolutely spanked us. But I just think I love it, but also frustrates me that they can't do that every game.
Well, that's the point. We made a video just straight after the match. Basically, there's this that to me it does raise more questions than it does answers. This performance.
Well, it's like, why can't we do it?
We still don't trust the team.
Nah,
I still don't trust that they can go to Wales next week. I think it's a 70% likelihood we win that match.
But it shouldn't even be winning.
No.
We should be going there and absolutely annihilating
Doing
Wales.
what France have just done.
Because that's the kind of team that we are. And I guess this is what the frustrating thing is with Gregor and why he has been kept on, because he's clearly capable.
Yeah.
He's clearly capable. For him to be able to, he's not lost the changing room. The players are behind him. He's clearly a good coach. Because if you weren't a good coach and you didn't have the players and you didn't have good tactics, you couldn't have done what they did on Saturday. They wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have happened.
Standout players, standout performance.
I'm so surprised Finn didn't get man of the match.
Some of the things that he was doing, that tap pass for the first try to Hugh Jones,
through as well,
and then the chip. I feel bad for Genge if that was any back. He's not ran that drill many times, has he?
Had to do that in his life. And then poor boy, man, he's got that fucking chip through, and he's got Ben White chasing him hard. The pressure is on. But Finn saw that, and that because he saw Finn, he was going to go one way, then he switched back, skinned two players. I was listening to the Rugby Union Weekly one, and they made a really good point around Sam Underhill, because Sam Underhill slipped that tackle. Finn skinned two players, put that chip through, and it's just like Finn's game. And you said this earlier, stylistically, Scotland just have England's number. Mm-hmm. We play out wide, we just play this fast brand of attacking rugby, and it seems to just nullify England. But you'd have thought England would have battered us, but Scotland's defence was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
England came out firing in that second half. They didn't come out slow. They came out looking to smash us.
Yeah.
And how many we were on the north stand, so we had the defensive sets in front of us, and they won pretty much every single defensive set.
I think I counted 4.
And it was like
four entries into the 22 where they were threatening the tries, and we either got turnovers or they knocked on,
or held up one.
One held up.
It was just like they just didn't look. It just didn't look like they were going to get anything. So kudos to Lee Radford, because he clearly got a good job in there as well. Shout
out, man, because he stepped up. He's obviously looked at things and implemented where we went wrong against Italy. Some of the impact players coming off the bench, I just think it's such good options to have Schumann coming off the bench, to have Matt Fagerson coming off the bench. These guys are coming on and making such an impact to the game, and maybe that's where England struggled with their momentum. I told you he came off in the 50th minute. Sam Underhill got subbed at half time.
But something must have been up with Sam Underhill. There's no way he's slapping those tackles. He's like one of the best tackles in the world. And England just looked like, and I'm so glad that all the pundits are now going to have to eat their words, because they give
royally eat their words.
They give it hard. Grand Slams on. It's like no, and even before, us away is their hardest game, because you know, if they're going to France in the last game, but if they had a Grand Slam on the line, that's an easier game than going to Scotland in the second match.
I'm just going to say it. Maybe England aren't as good as what they think they are. Maybe they can get performances against teams ranked below them, but let's see how they do against France.
Well, Johnny Wilkinson was saying, "Oh, we're still moving towards winning a World Cup," and I'm like, but fair play as well, because to be winners and get victories and be the best team in the world, you have to be arrogant. And sometimes, though, I think it crosses over with being naive.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between arrogance and delusional sometimes.
And I feel they are a good team, and England should be looking to win World Cups with the resources and the teams that they have and the amount of players at their disposal. But I think when you overlook Scotland of coming to Murrayfield, where you've not had great success in nearly 10 years now, the only reason 2020 they got that win was the storm that was on that hurricane. So,
mate, let's just say it, they can't even beat Glasgow.
I know. You can't beat a URC
I love
team.
that.
I know, it's funny. But it just shows the difference of playing these Glasgow boys.
Aye.
Steno,
what a game. Every carry strong, made meters every single time.
So good in the air.
He shut down, honestly, solely and alone shut down England's aerial game.
I saw a stat and it was like Kyle Stein's the best aerial player in the Six Nations. And Jamie
because of his percentages.
His percentages in this season, he's like the high success rate for contestable balls. And I think Jamie Dobie was like 5th.
Aye.
So it's not as if he's like any slouch in there.
Aye.
But on that, these injuries, man.
I know. So, hearing Jack Dempsey potential bicep injury, which...
Right, we don't want to spread rumours.
No.
This is just what we're hearing.
It was in The Guardian.
We're filming this on the Monday, so this might be completely changed now, and we are going off of scraps here. But he was icing it in the changing room.
So, bicep injury. I mean, Gregor said in his post-match interview it was serious. And
all of them.
Aye, but he said Dobie could be back before the end of the championship, but the other two could be, that's our championship's done.
Jamie Ritchie went off it, he limped off as well,
Aye.
but
knee
you don't
apparently.
know with knees.
Speculating knee. So it's a shame because Jamie Ritchie brought so much fire and energy into that squad. Arguably, if he was playing in Rome, there could have been a different result because he's the sort of player with that leadership and dog mentality. You need him in the squad. It
just makes things for next week a bit more complicated because if Jamie Dobie's brilliant, his time will come, and you think Darcy Graham is not. He's pretty much a like for like swap straight in, and Darcy played well when he came on as well. But you think that back row, 2 of the key players in that back row now are gone, and that is a bit of a loss.
We've been kind of scratching our heads thinking who's going to be coming in. The obvious option would be Bayliss stepping in, and then you've probably got to give Freddie Douglas opportunity on the bench, or Christie.
Well, I'm thinking, is Bayliss not a better option for bench, and then starting an Andy Christie? I would love to see what Freddie Douglas can do in the breakdown, and what a game to get him into than the Wales game. That's the best possible game you could get him kind of blooded in, because he'd be going up there against, it's no insult, but a poor Welsh side, to get him a bit of experience and see if that boy takes the performances he's had from Edinburgh into a Scotland shirt. He will be devastating on the ground. His turnout, and you think Ireland, that last game where we struggle is the ruck speed of Ireland, Freddie Douglas will slow that ruck down. So you're thinking he's a cracking player to bring through. So we've got the options. We're blessed with depth, not the same calibre. That's the only issue.
It's the power. It's the power players. Jack Dempsey's maybe our most powerful back rower.
Everything, man. Footwork.
Aye. He's been
his
really solid for us.
And if it as well for Glasgow, Jesus. I know Villano's back, but Jack Dempsey's he's a different beast in that department.
I can imagine there'll be an update by Thursday at the latest, so we'll get an injury update and go from there. But it is honestly real shame for Jack Dempsey and Jamie Ritchie especially.
So second row, because you could obviously put Gregor Brown to the back row, bring in a Max Williamson, maybe Grant Gilchrist comes back into
No.
the fold. We're like, nah. The best showing of Grant Gilchrist against Italy was his arse. So I think it's a hard one to say bring Grant back in, but when you're thinking Gregor Brown has to start now.
Yeah.
Like I love this idea of the impact players, but do we have the depth to do that right now? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might rest some players. I'm not sure. This is my hunch, they have to go 6-2.
You think?
Why is Adam Hastings
I don't
there?
know about Adam. He actually did play well when he came on as well. Everyone did have a good game. The only my concern is we just aren't performing well in the scrum. We're getting beat and giving penalties away in the scrum constantly. Is that because Schumann didn't start? Is Fagerson he's not had his standout performances the way Xander? He's not had his standout performances the way he usually has. Is there a problem there? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
let's preface us as well. We have no clue about the scrum.
All I can go off of is stats and what I hear.
What pundits say, because we have no clue about scrums. But you do. We got hosed against England in the scrum
And Italy,
and you think, but Italy have got a really good pack.
Yeah, they do.
But I don't know. The front row's probably the biggest concern that we do have for that true strength and depth.
Because I like Schumann, the thought of him coming off the bench.
So do I.
But is Nathan Macbeth is he a starting calibre Six Nations Scotland, internationalist?
I don't know.
Don't know. That's where we're thin on the ground.
We are thin. The thinnest on the ground we are is in that front row.
But
I mean,
if there's any time we're going to win the Triple Crown.
It's now. But I don't know how it'll go. I wonder, that back rows is an interesting point. So do you keep Gregor Brown in the back row? Sorry, the second row with Scott Cummins, and then bring Andy Christie, or bring a Freddie Douglas or a Josh Bayliss in? Like, what do you do with that? They're gonna have to bring Kyle Rowe in. Have to.
Yeah,
or Blair Kinghorn, but Blair Kinghorn played last night.
Toulouse, man.
He played last night for Toulouse. So you're like, is he really going to have a 6-day turnaround? By the way, the Welsh also have a 6-day turnaround.
I know.
Which is mad. But
that is brutal for them.
I think if anyone needs to get into the squad, it's Kyle Rowe. That's my opinion.
I agree.
And Blair Kinghorn is an excellent player. But I think Kyle Rowe's just on better.
Kyle Rowe coming in. Looking ahead to Cardiff then.
We'll be there.
Predictions. So
you're saying 70%, and I would say I'm going to half that 70%. So 35 of it say we're gonna pump them.
Yeah.
The other 35% is going to be a close Scotland win, and then 30% is Wales.
I'm going to revise this. I think Wales are obviously going to be targeting this game. This is the biggest.
Steve Tandy's there as well.
Steve Tandy's there. He knows our system.
Before you go on, their defence looks shocking.
It does look shocking. So he's spread too thin. However, he knows the Scottish system inside out. He knows all the boys inside out. They'll be targeting this game because they see it as their winnable win at home. So, but again, they look absolutely dreadful.
They looked awful.
I'm going to say Scotland by 20.
I would say anything less than 20 is not a promising sign. I'll be really interested to see what the team is, whether they do rotate. I can't imagine they will, but this tournament, because the fallow week's been reduced, and by the way, I'm loving that.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It does. It definitely advantages the bigger teams.
It does, and that's 100%. Where we also lack. But then again, mate, we've had the best run of fixtures at Wales is before the fallow week. So it's interesting to see what will happen. But I think, one half of my brain is saying Scotland pump them. Middle says we'll just win, and then the other side says I can't get rid of that.
Do you get a middle half?
Aye. A middle third. I just don't trust this team fully yet.
I think we should probably touch on just briefly how good Hugh Jones' try scoring record against England is.
I mean, when he got that tip pass from Finn, there was no one touching it. Maro Itoje, what a mismatch that was on the outside, because he's not touched. Hugh Jones is he's such an amazing story arc that burst onto the scenes. You know, some of the devastating tries he scored for us against pretty much everyone. And you know, that 2018 try is one of my favourite all-time scores against England. And then massive dip in form.
Yeah.
Absolutely nowhere near it. And then, you know, he comes good again the way he has recently, and he's honestly, I think he's the best centre in the world.
And he's came back from injury, and if anything, he looks faster. He looks like he's got
rapid.
like, even I know it was he had the charge down, but I mean, he absolutely burned George.
He got
near him.
Like, it's his first 10 metres.
Yeah.
In that first 10 metres, he was like he gained like he went 20 metres ahead of like George Ford and Alex Mitchell.
What an incredible game!
It was probably one of the best rugby match days that I've ever been to.
Oh, 100%. It was just a complete Scotland performance, and
well, not complete. There's still we're saying, but it's the best
it's
that we could probably put out.
It's as completed as I've ever seen, and I hope we carry it to Wales, get some momentum going into the Fallow week, and do some damage to France when they come to Murrayfield, because historically that has been a bit of a banana skin.
I think if we beat Wales, it just opens everything up massively. You know, we're sitting in second right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing, we are sitting in second. And let's just, and I'm going to say this to everyone, let's just stay sceptical of what's going on here. Let's not go one side, but I do think anything less than 3 wins, at the bare minimum, Gregor should probably go at the end of the Six Nations.
I still am agreeing. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but I agree with that.
Oh, I think it could. I think if it's less than 3, it could happen. But you know, if we get one more win, I don't think that's good enough, and everyone knows that it's not good enough. I think if 3 happens, they'll see out the rest of his contract.
Yeah.
2 happens, I think he'll be going.
I agree with that.
If we don't back this performance up, there's arguably more pressure on the boys this week to back the performance up, because that is, we all know that we're capable of big wins. What we know we're also not capable of, and we never have been, is consistently putting in performances.
And Scotland always perform well as underdogs, never the favourites, which is the problem. And this week at the Calcutta Cup, we were the underdogs massively, and we just always pull out the bag.
And then coming up this week, but then that's what makes a winning side, is a side that's confident that they're going to go out there and win. A side that's sitting there thinking there's a chance of them winning. They're never going to go on to great things. They're never going to compete for Six Nations. They're never going to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas we need to be going to the Wales game believing we are going to win, and then going to the France game believing we're going to beat them, and then the Ireland game thinking that we're going to beat them. But if you're going with anything less than that, you probably already lost.
Agreed.
But let's see how it goes. We'll be there. Absolutely buzzing.
Yep.
The old liver's not though.
We're going to Cardiff.
The liver's not buzzing.
The liver, it'll be ready again by then. Quickly, just touch on the other 2 games then. Don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but they weren't the most exciting of games, to be honest. The Italy-Ireland game, I feel Italy almost a wee bit hard done by. I feel like they could have got a performance over there and a result. I feel forward pass, something that needs to be looked at a wee bit.
It's not a forward pass.
Yeah, because the exact same thing happened with Henry Pollock, and I know you're going to speak about that in the review video, but there needs to be some form of consistency here. Either they're forward passes or they're not.
To me, it's not. You're running with momentum. Like, it's just, Menichello's was actually way, it was nowhere near as bad as the one to Henry Pollock. Menichello's, we watched it live, and I'm like, nah, that's cool. Menichello's running at full tilt.
Sorry, I did say he was going to get called as a forward pass because he released the ball before the 22.
Do you know who the TMO was? Ian fucking Tempest. The guy that done us against France 2 years ago. So maybe he just doesn't like the small nations getting these big scalps.
That old chestnut.
I think, to me, I'm like, that's not forward. And then the decision was anything clear and obvious. Holly Davidson, shout out, you did brilliant. Loving Holly Davidson getting there and doing the ref in the way she did. But she said, try. So it needs to be clear and obvious.
Came up.
How are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Have you got your bloody protractor out and figuring out? Sorry, I know that's our circle, but you know what I mean. You're doing geometry there to figure it out. So I'm just not buying it. Like, to me, I'm like, it's not forward.
And the Wales-France game, Wales, we touched on it there, but Wales are so... They're shite.
They're just
They are.
pish.
They're dreadful in every area of the
I
game.
just feel for them, but
They really need to find something to get good at in their matches because there's nothing they can do and there's no scope on the horizon of them improving. They sold 56,000 or 57,000 seats for that game and you feel bad for them because that's... Someone calculated it's like 1.6 million they've lost out
I
on
think they've only
ticket sales.
sold like 35 for Italy.
Gee, what?
Huh?
Surely they'd be gunning for that as well.
No, I think it's like really, really low. Ticket
Shame.
sales.
And it's a shame that how bad Wales are. They're probably the worst team that have been in the Six Nations for a long time.
Which is, no, I think they are just the worst team that have ever been in the Six Nations. Bless you. Even Italy weren't that bad.
Nah.
Even Italy, when they were in the worst, were still competing in games. And
They look
stuff,
They look dreadful,
They look-
and I really hope there's nothing on the horizon. Actually, there's no point in saying I hope because there is nothing. on the
Well,
horizon.
Steve Tandy's clearly a competent defence coach. So
Yeah.
if they're just like, right, we're just going to get a dogged defence and be really hard to beat, you'd be like, fair enough. But
Yeah.
they're not even doing that. And
I know.
France were just, they took the foot off the pedal as well.
Yeah.
But I feel the Welsh is just, it's like it can't get any lower. Then it's like, oh, it's the lowest
It's the
attended
lowest,
Six
yeah.
Nations game. It's like every week there's something bad, worse happening.
At least they're breaking records.
Aye, they're still breaking records. This is a record-breaking team. But, I mean, I feel for them. I feel for the fans. I feel for the pundits. You know, you look at Josh Adams and even Louis Rees-Zammit. They played in Six Nation winning sides
Yeah.
and Grand Slam
Grand
winning
Slam
sides.
teams.
And it's like, look at them now.
I know. It's a shame. But it's not going to stop us cheering on Scotland at the weekend. So, yeah, we'll see how
Scotland.
it goes. Scotland. And we'll wrap up there. So thank you for watching. There's a review video dropped this week, so make sure to catch that. A preview video for the weekend Cummins matches will also be getting released, where we'll put predictions on that, what we think, and a couple of shorts. So if you've listened along and got this far, please give us a like and subscribe.
And comment on what your thoughts are, where we're talking piss, where we're not. We want interaction.
We want dialogue and interaction. We're fans. We're not experts, so our opinions could be swayed. So let us know what you think, and thank you for listening. Until next time.
See ya. Sound. I swear, like, yeah, take the chargers for this mic.